What's the weirdest thing you've discovered about your partner only after moving in together? When I moved in with Ben, I thought I knew him well enough. We'd been dating for 2 years, spending nearly every weekend together, but living together? That's a different beast entirely. It started with the small things. The way he preferred his coffee, how he'd leave his dirty clothes scattered across the floor, or how he always forgot to wash his dishes. I wasn't shocked. I mean, we're all a little messy sometimes, right? But then came the sock situation. I first noticed it a week after the move-in. We'd done a load of laundry, and when it came time to fold, I couldn't find a matching pair of socks anywhere. It was like the universe had conspired to remove all of Ben's right socks. Just a random collection of left socks. It was odd enough for me to raise an eyebrow, but I brushed it off as a laundry mishap. Maybe we'd mixed up our socks. But then the next laundry day came and the same thing happened. A stack of mismatched socks, just left ones, no rights. I started getting suspicious. Ben didn't seem bothered though. He casually shrugged and said, "Oh, I have a thing with socks." I stared at him, confused. "A thing?" I repeated. "What do you mean?" He looked uncomfortable for a second, but then shrugged again. "I don't like wearing matching socks. I wear the left one from one pair and the right from another." He didn't seem embarrassed by it, but I was. I had to take a moment to process this weird habit. Was this really a thing? I started paying closer attention. He had 2 full drawers of socks, only left ones. I didn't understand. How had I never noticed this before? He'd always wear a mismatched pair, but I'd never realized it was an actual preference. A weird, odd quirk. We'd been living together for months at this point, and I hadn't even known this bizarre detail about him. I mean, who actively dislikes wearing matching socks? What kind of socks philosophy is that? Over time, it became something I could laugh at. We started making jokes about his sock rebellion, and even though it still baffled me, it was oddly endearing. Ben had become this sock connoisseur who had a whole system of mismatched chaos, and I had to accept it. Living together revealed more about him than I ever expected. But socks? That was the weirdest.